Hi, my name is Olivia Anbacher, and I'm going to be talking about my final GLP Reflection and interaction with Jamie Lee, which was this past weekend, which went really well. We just kind of talked about the questions that were on D2L and kind of went over how the whole process went, which was kind of awkward. I think this was like the most awkward interaction only because I was asking her questions that had to do with how she felt talking with me went, which was in itself weird. It felt more like an interview and not more like a conversation, like the other ones have been. So that was interesting. Okay, so we kind of talked about how going into this, we didn't really have any expectations. Like, I really didn't, I wasn't nervous or like things like that. I maybe thought it would be kind of awkward in the beginning, but the day that I first met her, I didn't have time to plan anything. It was like the busiest day ever. So I literally just like went to our meeting and was like kind of forgot that I was going to meet a random person, which was good in a way because I didn't have time to get like worried or anything like that. She wasn't worried only because I think she told me that she like wasn't worried and that she is outgoing and will talk to like people in general. So she was fine with doing the whole project, and she was very like, I met her through someone on my committee, and she was very like, oh yeah, I know the perfect person for you. She'll talk to you no matter what you needed her to do. Like, she was very just like willing to go through this project with me, so that was cool. How we thought and felt as a result of going through these interactions. I guess we just overall learned about different cultures, which I guess is very general and doesn't really tell you much. But we learned that we had a lot of similarities, mostly because she came to the United States when she was in fourth grade. So, like, that part, we had a lot to go off of. But then the main things that were, like, different were food, and we didn't really get into religion. I know she is religious. Like, we talked about her church and stuff like that, which would have been more interesting, but we kind of focused on other things. So yeah, just kind of talking about general things that were different between her home country and how she really liked Romania, and how I haven't been to places that are awesome like that because, like, in my opinion, those are awesome. And even though she loved Michigan and thought it was the best ever, and like that was a big topic, was like how she could explore Michigan more, and like I taught her a lot about places to go and like things like that. So that was cool. Did you learn anything about yourself? Yes, I learned that I thought I was adventurous in eating food. No, clearly I'm not, because there are many more things that people eat in the world that I did not. Well, I guess I knew, but I didn't know firsthand. Someone that has been in that culture before and like eats those foods and like loves those foods, like, like I talked about in the last vlog about like the soup, lamb soup, I think it was. So yeah, things like that where I'm like, yeah, I will totally try anything, but then I'm like, oh no, I'm probably not going to try that ever in my whole life. So like that was interesting. And she learned that Michigan was awesome, even though she clearly hasn't seen anything, because I was very like, I believe that it's awesome, but you haven't seen anything yet, so you need to go see things. So that's something she learned. They're talking with me. She also really learned that having a car was important because I guess through that other answer, she was like, yeah, I need a car if I'm gonna explore a place. What we do differently at Michigan State really isn't applicable to us because she's taking a gap year. She got an internship at the United States Embassy in Korea, which will be super interesting because of all the, international relations happening now. But also, I'm graduating in May. So yeah, and then as an educator and learner just in the future, I think this experience really just kind of solidified that like talking with others should be a core part of any education system, because like there are so many different kinds of cultures, different kinds of people, even if you're within the same community, and you should be open and flexible to talk with them. Like, this opportunity was kind of rigid but also kind of open, the fact that like you could pretty much do whatever you want as long as you were talking about culture and education, and I think that that was good in terms of that, and I really got to know another person, so that was really interesting, and I liked it a lot. Thanks.